welcome to the Change Life Destiny podcast series. Are you frustrated with the challenges of navigating our healthcare system? We understand, and that's why we're committed to sharing insights into the latest advancements and approaches that are reshaping healthcare. Join us as we explore the stories of practitioners and innovators who are leading the way toward a healthier future. Let's dive in and learn together. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Changing Life and Destiny podcast series. I am your host, Stephanie, and today we have sort of this trifecta of sleep hygiene that we're going to talk to these three amazing women about how we can improve our sleep. But before we get there, it's very important to learn who they are. Now, one of you I've interviewed before, and that is Elizabeth from Baloo Living. So, Elizabeth, why don't we start with you? Just give us a quick little introduction of who you are and what your company does.
Yes. Hi, Stephanie, and hi, all of you. I'm so happy to be together today. Our company, Baloo Living, makes weighted blankets. At this point, many people are familiar with what those are and how they work, but I'll do a quick intro. Weighted blankets work by applying an even pressure over the body, and the mechanism is called deep pressure touch. And what that does is tell the nervous system that it's safe and trigger a cascade of hormone changes, such as an increase in serotonin and a decrease in cortisol, to help the body really enter a state of relaxation and sleep. And so Baloo Living makes weighted blankets, and we also do some other sleep accessories to go with them.
Yes, and I love your products, and so do some of the other people that work with me here at Changing Life and Destiny. Fantastic. Okay, let's move over to Julie from Sleep Crown. Julie, tell us what Sleep Crown is all about.
Hi, I am Julie Westervelt. I am the founder of Sleep Crown Pillows, and we now actually have a whole line of all shapes and sizes of pillows, but the thing that makes us unique and what we kind of started and launched with is our over the head pillow, which sounds a little kooky, but it is a pillow that drapes over your eyes so it blocks out light, it muffles sound, and it gives you just this gentle pressure that helps relax the whole body for sleeping.
I love that. And we were just talking about this before we hit record, but it's fascinating to find out how many silent Sleep Crown needers there are in the world. How many people are using pillows anyway to do something, and they can up level their game here. Awesome. Okay, Lindsay from VIO2, let's introduce you.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Ip, the founder of VIO2. I actually founded it with my husband, Dr. Vincent Ip, and we created a small mouth tape, gentle mouth trainer to help you keep your mouth shut at night when you're sleeping. Your nose is your natural filter, and so basically this helps you use your nose to filter out germs, and it's better for your immunity and overall health. And we actually created the product about 8 years ago when our son was diagnosed with sleep apnea to try and help him on his path. So
awesome. Okay, wow. Okay, so all things that I can say as a lover of wellness products that people just, I don't think that people understand how important these kinds of things are to our sleep and to the hygiene of our sleep, and to ensure that we have a system in place and these tools to help us to get to sleep, which is very, very important. So, Elizabeth, why don't you give us a little taste as to how the three of you met and really kind of, because you have synergistic products, and so from a business perspective, it certainly makes sense to me that you guys would link arms and say, hey, here are all these three incredible solutions for your sleep hygiene. So how did this come to play for you?
It was during COVID when we had sold out of some of our best-selling weighted blankets, and we still had a massive amount of people coming to us, and we wanted to be able to offer them something. And I work with my sister. Jennifer is our director of operations. She's a very avid shopper, and she had discovered Julie's Sleep Crown pillow, I think online. I don't know where, if it was the Grommet or another website like that. And she was like fascinated by it. And we reached out to Julie. And I'm getting the story right, I think. We reached
Yes,
out
yes.
and she responded right away. And she's got her hands in so many things running her business. And I was just so loved our conversation and connection. And I think you were having the same supply chain limits that we were, so we weren't able to collaborate on something. But we found that we had so many synergies, even just interpersonally. We really, I think, became fans of each other. And we met in person at a conference eventually where we had our booths next to each other.
Oh, well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Duh.
Yes, I said, I'll come to the show, but can I be next to Julie with Sleep
Yeah,
Crown?
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, from a conference perspective, from an event planner perspective, I love it when flow like that can happen for people so that, if you have partners in crime and you are working together and you know that this is your lane and you're working very well in your lane, but you've got these partners over here that really make it work together as a team. That's fantastic.
Yes. Yes, it's really fun to send people next door to try out products. And then Julie and I, or Julie met Lindsay, or we came together through Julie.
Well, Julie, you tell that story. So how did that work out?
Yes, it is. I love getting to be at a conference with Elizabeth because we all have beds in our booths, so our products are so experiential that we can describe all three of our products, but until you feel them in your own body, that's what makes, that's the aha moment. And I have used a lot of different mouth tapes. A lot of different companies came to me in when I kind of first started hearing about mouth taping in the biohacking community. But it turns out the very best one is a fellow Austinite. And so Lindsay and I connected and also became friends, and I just love our little sleep girl gang. And so I actually reached out to Lindsay and I asked if I could sell her VO2 mouth tapes on my Sleep Crown website because I just, I believe in everybody's products. I personally use them. And so, all of our joint missions are to be able to help people feel more safe and comfortable and sleep efficiently and effectively because everybody's exhausted.
Yes, everybody's
We're all
exhausted.
doing our little
This
part.
is something that is literally for everyone, literally for everyone. So then, Lindsay, what was your response? I mean, I can only imagine as a business owner and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm really interested in your product. Can I sell it on my website?" That's like, "Yes, please." So what was your response there?
Well, to be honest, we also started around COVID because our practices were shut for 3 months during COVID. And so we had extra time on our hands and we're like, let's add something else to our plate, like invent a product.
Sure.
So, or like put a product out into the world. So we did that and we kind of weren't expecting it to be anything. We thought, our patients would use it, our family would use it, but then in this whole new influencer world, which I'm still wrapping my head around years later, influencers started to get a hold of it and kind of it started going viral like weekly. And so that's kind of around the time Julie and I connected. And I mean, I'm new at this. This is my first product I've invented, first time bringing something like this to market. And so I've just always been like, yes, let's try it. Why not? And of course, I got along with Julie immediately. And then I think Elizabeth, we maybe met through the Longhorn, the Texas X's. Did we?
That's right. Yes, we got connected through the alumni office.
Yeah. So like we had this double connection through Julie. And then I think once we talked, we figured it out anyway. But they've been really great about bringing businesses together. And we are all on a very similar path with figuring this all out about products and what works and what doesn't in terms of even like marketing and everything. So I think it's just easy to talk to each other because we're on a very similar path.
I love that. And gosh, hey, shout out to University of Texas for having a thriving alumni department that connects people together. How smart is that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
makes it worth going and paying all that money to go to school. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so let's shift a little bit to these products and how they can synergistically work. So I think, Elizabeth, I'm going to come back to you and let you
Mhm.
talk a little bit about your product, and then we'll connect the dots with the other two and how they really do help to improve that sleep hygiene.
Yes. So weighted blankets have been around for a long time, decades. Temple Grandin is credited with sort of being the person that understood
Mm,
this mechanism in the body. And so they were used by therapists to treat people with neurosensory processing or PTS or autism for decades and always in a therapeutic setting. But then in 2017, there was a Kickstarter campaign. Someone put this together and recognized the interest in natural sleep solutions and this kind of idea and kind of launched weighted blankets into the world, and they became a phenomenon.
they sure did.
At the at the same time, I was on a sabbatical in Bali, and I had intentionally gone there because I wanted to put myself in a more creative space. And I was doing product research, and I kind of got a signal in my research online about this growing category, and I tried one, and it felt I was blown away. Like it just felt incredible. And it is, like Julie said, an experiential product. It's really, you can describe it, but it's until you experience it's very unique feeling of the body kind of from the inside out, releasing and letting
Hmm.
go. And you don't do anything. It's very passive.
Yeah.
So that's how I launched Baloo. I got really excited. I just couldn't wait to launch this company and this product. And it took, I think, 6 or 8 months. It felt like eternity.
Right.
Um, but it wasn't. It was pretty quick. And we launched and then, began selling out repeatedly over and over. But I wanted to make something that was very considerate and sort of respectful of this personal experience and a very meaningful experience, I think, when you can quiet your mind and reconnect with your inner voice or your
Yeah.
intuition. That's what speaks to me about them, but they also are usually sought out for help with sleep, and they really do help with going to sleep and sleeping more deeply because the sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system gets balanced and the body can just relax. So it's been really rewarding to hear the feedback from people, even people who have optimized their sleep already, texting me screenshots of sleep scores and saying like, I can't believe it.
How did this
Even
happen? Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
That's
Yes.
amazing. That's
So
amazing. Okay, so then a little bit of the science behind sleep crown, because again, Julie, we were saying, my husband sleeps with a pillow on his head, and I didn't put it there, by the way. I did not put it there. But that pressure and blocking out the light and the sound. Talk to me a little bit about the science of that and how this definitely improves that sleep.
Sure. We kind of tuck into the same umbrella of science that Elizabeth's beautiful blankets do as well. Her materials are so
Mm,
high end and comforting as well. And there's so many different aspects of them that I love. My challenge when I started to create Sleep Crown was that I wanted something that felt already really snuggly and broken
mm,
in. It was needed to be a brand new product. So we prototyped a lot of different materials. And I always joke that it's kind of like a sleep mask, earplugs, and a weighted blanket fell in love and had a baby.
I love
Because
that.
conquers a lot of things that interrupt our
Mhm,
sleep, light and
mhm.
sound. And also, our bodies are covered in nerve endings. And so, even our faces, our scalp, just having that very gentle touch of pressure it stimulates the body's natural relaxation
Mhm.
response. And so, the three kind of elements work together to prevent things from interrupting your
Yeah.
sleep. And that was the intention, and a lot of people use them that way, but I also just receive feedback all the time that people just love to hold them because they just feel like a little lovey, like an adult
Oh, I
lovey.
love
And
that.
so just kind of having like an adult
Let's
teddy
bring
bear.
those back. Let's bring back the adult loveys. I mean, come on now. We can really do some good with stress reduction if we all have adult loveys in our lives. Come on, ladies. Awesome.
That's how
Okay, so then
Hi everyone, Roxy here with the Change Life Destiny podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you're loving this episode. Just a quick note to let you know that if you enjoy the types of speakers and the content and the technologies that we're showcasing on this podcast, you will enjoy our Changing Life and Destiny conference, which happens annually in Dallas in April. And we'd love to have you there with us. Learn more at changelifedestiny.com and use the code podcast at checkout to get a very special discount. We hope to see you there on this movement to move our healthcare system to a preventative, proactive model. Now back to the episode.
Lindsay, talk a little bit more about the science behind mouth taping.
Yeah, so basically, it's kind of the same vein as both of them. It's like any sleep disruption, whether or not you're getting up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or snoring, or have a partner that snores, or, all of these things are playing into your sleep and your quality of sleep. For us, we first kind of went down this path when our son was 3 and he was snoring, and we knew that probably wasn't right. So we started going down the path of airway disorders, and my husband kind of super specialized in that area. And one thing he kept coming across was mouth tape with all these kind of pioneers of this airway medicine. And like Elizabeth, mouth taping is not new. People think it's like a fad or it's like a new thing that they've seen on TikTok. I mean, people have been taping for 50 years and talking about it for 50 years. So it's not new. But we were coming across, at the time, the only mouth tape on the market was full coverage. And we didn't want to use like a full coverage mouth tape on our son. And I didn't want to try it either. And we felt kind of not good about having our patients try that. So that's where we came up with doing a non-full coverage one that still supports your jaw in the same way that like a full coverage one does. But it's just very important to always have an oxygen pathway when you're taping.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's just, I get emails, same as these ladies every day, saying that, they were sleep divorced and now they can sleep in the same room because it's helped the snoring, or they're getting so much more REM sleep because they're getting into a deeper space and they're not waking up in the night. And all of that is to do, like, mouth breathing is just really bad for you. And so a lot of people don't even know that during the night, I'm one of them. I don't have a sleep disorder. I've done airway sleep tests, but at night I tend to open my mouth just a tiny bit. And so ever since I started taping, I just get way better, more restorative sleep, which has been interesting even for me because I live in this world and I've done all the tests and all the things, but just this tiny change has made such a difference in my quality of sleep.
Amazing.
So I think what we realized is, like, not everybody has the access to care to get, a sleep test and sleep studies, and not only the access to care, but it's very expensive. And so we wanted to create something that was kind of affordable and approachable for people to try to see if it would make a small difference. And then it might get them curious about their airway health or, their sleep hygiene. And they might want to seek out specialists to help them, get to the root cause, which is what we would really love. But we know that not everybody can do that.
Right. I love that. Okay. Does your tape, this might be a crazy question, but I'm sure you get it. Does it work with a beard?
It does. So it can go, we are receiving our patent on October 15th.
Congratulations.
Big deal. We like a 3-year wait, but in the I position, it goes this way. And so that's how most people tend to like it. But in the H position, that's where we see men with beards using it the most, or facial hair, because more of the tape is like on the contact of their lips.
Got it.
But it can be worn either way. So
I love this.
it does work.
I love that. And I think that that's very important because there's a lot of people out there with facial hair that, maybe wouldn't even try the tape because they'd be like, well, it's not going to stick to anything. So what the heck am I wasting my money on? So that's really,
Right.
really wonderful. Okay. So let's focus a little bit on maybe some folks who have used all three of your products together, because and I'm sure that you have some people in that category that have used everything that you have. Can we get some stories of change that just stand out to you? I'm hearing all of you talk about, emails that you're getting from, your customers that are using your particular product, but is there someone that has all three, that has used them, that has just seen some amazing change?
We don't know. They're still
Ah!
sleeping.
I love that. I love that so much. They are so rusted that they haven't had time. They're so mellow.
Right.
They're refusing social media because they're so rested. I love it. I love it.
I'm sure there are. I don't know if we actually have an actual story of one single person, but I feel like our users, probably the same with Elizabeth and Julie, they're really conscious of what they're putting in their bodies, how, they're wanting to be that extra, go the
Mhm.
extra to get the better
Mhm.
sleep or to be healthier in whatever way they can. And so, I'm sure that our brands are talked about in the same circles a lot.
I know there's family members of mine that are using weighted blankets and sleep crowns, but now I'm going to be recommending 2 more mouth tape. And can I ask a cross question?
Yes, I love
I
that.
would love to know, does the mouth tape help with sleep apnea?
So there have been a couple of clinical studies that have come out that say mouth tape can help with mild to moderate sleep apnea. In severe cases, there's no research saying that severe cases it will help. We cannot say that it's going to cure sleep
No.
apnea because we just
Yeah.
can't say that. But we do have anecdotal evidence across a lot of patients and a lot of users that have said it has really changed their lives. Like they've used it instead of CPAP
Mm.
and had a very similar result. And then we do have a lot of users that use it with their CPAP to get a better lip seal at night. So it takes about 10 years for clinical research to trickle down into actual use, like in doctors actually using it with patients. So we are in clinical trials right now with the tape. And then some of these studies have just started coming out. They are now starting to teach about it in dental school and medical school, which is really exciting because that means like the next generation will already be kind of at the forefront. But yes, like there is data that's coming out in real clinical studies that show that it can have an improvement in mild to moderate sleep apnea.
That's fantastic.
That's good.
Good cross question. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's such a small, like simple, affordable thing, drug free. Like it's just, I mean, when we're looking at, I think all of us are looking at these ways we can make our lives better that aren't artificial.
Mhm.
And it's just like, I don't know, it's just so cool to have these products that really help people and they're
Mhm.
attainable for almost everybody.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that I was going to make sure to ask and mention, especially on this podcast, because we do have a mixture of listeners. We have those that are practitioners that want to bring this into their practices. And we also have those health conscious consumers that are really just really intelligent and searching and seeking for solutions for themselves and their families and their friends. And so I assume that all three of these are purchasable, that anybody and everybody can buy them, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we're all direct to consumer. We all have our own individual websites. And I think all three of us also have in common that we're very close with our customers. I mean, sleep is a very intimate, personal
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so many people are struggling with sleep. And when you affect somebody's sleep, you change their
Mm.
lives. And so we get these, have these personal connections with our customers. And I'm very hands-on. Our products are made by hand in the US, and I feel like I know every single one of my
That's
customers. So
fantastic.
it's such a gift. It really is. And I know, my Sleep Girl gang here is the same. I mean, I know for sure Elizabeth and I share customers because a lot of the times at conferences we're
Yes.
tucking them in together. And then same with Lindsay and VO2, since we sell her mouth tapes on Sleep Crown, a lot of my customers are sleeping.
I'm just having this image of you guys all together at a conference, like throwing product across the hall, like the walkway to each other. Hey, I need a sleep crown over here. Hey, I need some tape over here. Hey, I need a weighted blanket. I mean, that would be hard to throw, but still, I just have this beautiful image of you guys just all joyful and not sleep deprived, and
Well
well
rested.
rested, giving everybody, the benefits that you've created. I think that's amazing. Okay, so then, I think we are all for on the and I can include the company of EverHealth and Changing Life and Destiny in this, that we are all looking for a similar future when it comes to healthcare. But let's just say that the three of you had a brainstorm and dreamed about the future together. What would that look like when it comes to healthcare? What are some of your takeaways of what you would love to see in the future?
I was in a conference this weekend, so I've had a lot of really inspiring conversations very recently.
Mm-hmm.
And what I am coming away with is that I think culturally we're sort of oriented toward looking to an expert in a white lab coat to fix our problems. And we've moved away as a culture from thinking about our connection to the earth and these very natural things that we can do to support the way our bodies function anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would think about healthcare being less reactive and more about how do we simplify and actually clean up our environment so there's less to overcome. So I would imagine that begins with government protecting and regulating what's being introduced and allowed into our environment in the first place so we don't become sick.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, Julie.
Because yes, sorry, I can just keep
Yeah,
talking, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, check. Yes, that's exactly. I'm
Yes.
on board with that. How about you, Julie? What do you?
I think that our bodies know how to heal themselves, and just enhancing those abilities with natural products, just like Lindsay said, being drug free, having some, if you're having certain issues, maybe it's not all the things, but maybe it's just focusing on one thing at a time, and, helping boost your body's natural ability to
Mm,
heal
mm,
itself.
mm. Yes, Lindsay, I agree. Agree.
I think for me and for my husband and I, it's getting to the root cause for our patients and now our customers. It's like people have all sorts of symptoms or, things going on, but like what is really the root cause? Where is it actually coming from instead of just, giving antibiotics or whatever? I mean, there is definitely a place for medicine, obviously, but really, looking at what is causing these issues and getting away from pharmaceuticals and more into like natural ways of going back hundreds of years when people, could heal themselves in a more natural way. Um, so
I think,
yeah,
yeah.
we're all for
We
that.
are all on the same page. We are all on the same mission for sure, and I think have very similar visions for how we personally approach our healthcare in the future. And I recently was interviewing another doctor, and he was talking about how his vision included both the allopathic and the functional, knowing because he came from the allopathic world that there's going to be it would be very, very difficult to change their course. So in order to, I loved what you said, Lindsay, about, getting a patent and getting this research done, the clinical research, because it takes so long for these types of really beneficial tools to be added to the toolbox of the allopathic doctor. So to be able to work side by side and allow both to work together is, in my mind, ideal. But just to allow both to work in their own silos as well, and not have any shots fired across the bow, would be awesome as well, I think. So I think that with your tools that you have brought, that is definitely going into that realm, because I just can't imagine a doctor finding out about this trifecta of sleep hygiene and not wanting to share this with their patients, because every single one of them probably could use that. I can't imagine anybody that cannot. I mean, even like you're saying, Lindsay, even the people that have optimized their sleep are still upping their game by utilizing these products. So that's absolutely fascinating. Well, is there anything else that you just feel like we've missed? I mean, we've had such a great conversation, but what else do you think is important for our listeners to know?
I love receiving, I think Elizabeth mentioned this earlier, but I love receiving improved Aura Ring scores. That's like the best anecdotal kind of proof out there. And, just even being able to improve your ability to sleep by a couple of percentage points makes a difference in your resilience, in your daily experience, and in boosting your immunity. So it's important, even if you feel like, oh, hey, I sleep great, we can always improve.
Yeah, I've been asked, who's a weighted blanket for? And I always think, well, it's for anybody with a body, really, because it feels nice no matter what. It feels good, and we all want to feel safe and feel secure in our bodies. I think it's for everyone, and we all need more of that too.
And maybe even feeling a little bit better, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Lindsay, how about you?
Just echo what they say. I mean, it's just like, we created our product to help people, and it can be for anybody to try, really. And so I think we're all I feel like we all need a community to support us, and it's been so lovely, like getting to know other women in this space that are on the same path, and that makes the journey a little easier and a little more fun. But we're all just trying to make the community and the world a better place, and whether it be from our products or our relationships with each other, just working together.
I love that. Are you guys, you superheroes, are you creating some sort of community within the three of you that we need to know about? Or is that maybe some idea that just downloaded to me that you need to take from this
I
podcast?
think this would be the beginning of that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, pin this interview up to the top of your Facebook group or whatever it is that you choose to do, because I think that there would be a lot of people that would love to have, the expert advice, and then just like you're saying, build that community of people that are avid sleep enthusiasts that want everybody to get the incredible results that come from a better night's sleep, which I'm just thinking about. There's a huge rainbow of beautiful things that can come from people getting a better night's sleep. So, well, ladies, thank you so very much for your time today, your energy, your effort that you've put into your collective businesses, your ideas moving forward in this space and allowing each other to support each other. I think it's such a beautiful thing. And thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Stephanie.
you for having me.
You're
so
so
much
welcome.
for having us.
And if you have any questions, listeners, please go down to the show notes because we will link everything there. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to the Change Life Destiny Show. We hope you found today's conversation enlightening and empowering. Be sure to join us each week for more thought-provoking discussions and inspiring stories. Don't miss out on staying up to date with the latest in healthcare innovation. Subscribe to our podcast and visit us at changelifedestiny.com to explore more about the practitioners, technologies, and how you can take control of your health journey.